Hey, this is Carlos. Today we're building the ultimate custom bit holder storage solution. This is mounted on a smooth lacy Susan with some custom 3D printed holders for every type of bit you might need. I'm sharing the 3D file so you can make your own. Plus, it got built-in magnets so you can keep everything locked in place. Now let's dive into this game-changing DIY bit storage solution. This is my previous bit storage solution, which I built after watching a video from Chris at The Glimpse Inside. I love the idea of using the Lazy Susan, so I took that concept and reimagined the entire organization system to make it my own. Let's start with the base. This is a kitchen Lazy Susan, which you can likely find affordably at Walmart or stores like Ross. The dimensions for this base are 9 inches in diameter, with an inner circle measuring about 7 1/4 inches. I'm just gonna go over my pile of scrap material, kind of like did our pre-measurements, so could be this guy, maybe that guy, I don't know. We'll compare and measure. Maybe these two bits are about the same. Yep, they're exactly the same. So this is 9.5 by 26.5, so I'll probably just grab whichever one of these and go with that. All right, let's just do that. Even though my 3D model calls for 8 inches in height, I made my side panels 9.5 inches tall and 3.5 inches wide. You may have noticed I kept the 9.5 inch measurement, as that's the size of my scrap piece of plywood, but any measurement you choose will work just fine. Now I'll go ahead and cut the 6 panels. Since we're making an hexagonal prism, I'll set the blade angle to 60 degrees. I don't know about you, but every time I see the angle adjust here, it reminds me of the pump at the gas station. Here I'm simply adding some reference lines. Once I align the fence with the blade for the diagonal cut, I can use the same setup for both side cuts, giving me equally sized panels. Repeat the cut for both sides of each panel. Now that I have all 6 panels, it's time to glue them together. I decided to experiment a bit by applying wood glue, leaving small gaps or CA glue in between. I had to press firmly along the edges to ensure a strong hold. While this method worked, I ended up preferring the alternative, which is wrapping the panels with blue painter's tape. In hindsight, I should have done this with all 6 panels. It would have been much easier to align them all at once by placing the 3 long strips of painter's tape along the edges and wrapping them up just like I did with these 3 panels. I reinforced the joints with a few brass nails, but later switched to pin nails for a cleaner finish. I then took another piece of plywood and traced the inner and outer circumference. I moved on to cut the shapes with my bandsaw, but a jigsaw will work just as well here. Then I sanded the edges, carefully trying to avoid a possible accident like this one. I pre-drill and countersunk the base for the holder. I applied wood glue around the base, inserted and flipped the holder, reinforced it with brass nails, and then pre-drill and countersunk once more all around the base. I cleaned the mess from the glue and removed the painter's tape, and then added screws for added strength. A quick sanding to clean up the holder and prepare it for the paint. I centered the holder to the Lazy Susan and secured it with screws. I ripped some thin pieces of wood on the bandsaw and then cut them to length on the miter saw. These strips of wood will act as dividers between all the panels, so I just added the strips every other panel. A little bit of glue and some pin nails. This is where the organization process really began. I knew I wanted everything neatly arranged, but did not have a specific layout in mind. I had the magnets ready to keep the bits in place, but I didn't want to fall into the same habit of just sticking them into another magnet like in my previous holder. So I decided to use 3D printed holders to organize each type of bit individually. This was my initial grouping, but things naturally shifted as I progressed through the project. Your setup might look different based on the number and types of bits that you want to organize. Now let's set up the spray paint booth and get started on the painting. I decided to paint the holder in flat black to create a cleaner look and provide a high contrast for all the bits and holders. This step isn't necessary, but it does make a big difference aesthetically. And now we start placing all the different holders. I can tell you up front that the main tool I used to secure everything was CA glue. I skipped the accelerator to give myself time to adjust each piece as needed. I utilized various types of holders based on the specific bits I was using. For this first panel, I employed dividers to evenly space out the bits along with a bar magnet to keep them securely in place. To level out the bits that are positioned higher, you will need to add a small piece of wood. Additionally, depending on the type of bit, you might need to elevate the magnet as well. I also used a small piece of wood for this purpose. Now let's do a quick test run. All the 3D printing files were refined after building this holder to maximize the space on each panel. Every bit of surface area is now prime real estate. You can find all these files for free on my Printables account. The link is in the description below. As I place the longer bits, you can see that they have some side-to-side movement. To fix this, I added another divider higher up to keep them straight. Since some bits vary in thickness along their body, I designed different size dividers to accommodate these bits. I'll be adding them later on in the video. And not that it matters, but here's a footage of my X1 3D printer while printing one of the parts. Again, I'm going back to some of the panels to utilize those unused spaces. For some holders, the magnets were friction fitted while others needed a small dab of CA glue to stay in place. In the end, my takeaway was to use a little bit of CA glue on every magnet to prevent any from coming out with a bit. And this is a quick demonstration in how to friction fit one of the small coin magnets. If you need to resize a bar magnet, here's how I did it, though feel free to share if you know a better way. I simply scored the magnet, placed it on the bench vise, and gave it a tap with a hammer. While I place the rest of these holders down, I wanted to take a moment to thank you for watching. If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and keeps me motivated to bring you more great content. As of now, we have 1,400 subscribers and I would like your help to get this number even higher. Your support means a lot and helps the channel grow. If you're interested in replicating this bit holder or one custom to your bit needs, remember that you could download the 3D printing files from my Printables account. I added a different bit divider here since these two were thicker than the other four, which gave it more stability. In the upper section, I repeated the layout from the first panel but added a frame around the magnet this time for a cleaner look. For the square socket adapter bits, I raised the dividers with another piece of wood to fit properly. Since the bar magnet wasn't long enough, I designed a longer adapter for coin magnets for each bit. Later, I added a ledger to all the dividers in the upper section of the bit holder to keep everything properly aligned. And let's just add this extra bit in there to utilize that space. The coin magnets fit perfectly inside the hex bit holders, so I added one to each hole to securely hold each bit in place. I bought the bar and coin magnets in Amazon for very cheap. The coin magnets come in a pack of 200 for like $12, which is more than enough to cover this project and still have magnets left. I will link all my Amazon associate links for all the material, magnets, and CA glue that I used. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases, so using these links doesn't cost anything extra to you but helps support the channel. Of course, not everything will be perfect. You will need to adjust these pieces to fit your specific setup. I decided to create a generic panel with bar magnets spanning its length. The panel will hold drill bits and other miscellaneous items. For the last panel, I'm using more custom holders for my self-centering bits and countersink bits. As you can see, these holders each have 2 coin magnets per divider, which can be an alternative if you prefer not to use a bar magnet. I still think using both adds versatility. Of course, each setup will look completely different based on your needs. And here's one of the ledgers that I was telling you about. And here's another one. And the last one. I placed 2 magnetic bit holders on either side of the X bits, so that everything you need is right on the same panel. For the generic panel, I can add random bits along with my most frequently used drill bits. Here, I'm preparing the lid for the holder by adding some small wood pieces. I gave it a quick sanding to smooth out the rough edges and get the lid ready for paint. This is completely my thing, obviously not necessary, but I wanted to personalize the holder by adding my logo, which I cut it in my DIY CNC laser machine. I used the inlay letters from the laser cut to add them to the side of the panel. Then I highlighted them with a silver Sharpie. I use a 1/4 inch Forstner bit to create holes for recessing the coin magnets in the lid. On the holder side, I will hand drive some screws for the magnets to latch onto. For now, we have an empty cavity inside the holder for whatever you can think of, but I plan to change the lid design. The idea is that when you push the new lid, a drawer will be ejected, providing you with access to even more storage space. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or some tips of your own, please drop them in the comment section below. Until next time, keep building.